Fairfax County Public Schools has 165,000 students. We're the 13th largest school district in the nation. And in terms of our IT infrastructure, we have 97,000 computers and about 450 IT staff that help support all of that infrastructure. We have 238 schools and centers and buildings in about 400 square miles. Aligning our IT with the business is a continuing, evolving process. The world is changing, students are changing, the business is changing. We have to make sure we are very adept in making ourselves able to make those changes and make those challenges and continue to align in the future with the business. It never stops. It is absolutely critical to continue to make sure you are aligned with the business. The business needs continue to change as well as the technology continues to change. Certainly in the area of education, we have to make sure that the technology and our students are continuing to be evolving so that they are up to date and they are continuing to be able to work in today's changing environment. It's our responsibility in the business of education to make sure we are preparing those students to enter the workforce and to enter the higher education force, making sure they're well prepared to handle anything that may come down the road.
Grainger is a wholesale distributor of MRO products, which is indirect materials that the businesses use. Everything other than raw materials that you need to run in the offices, the factories, etc. We supply about, actually we carry about 135,000 products in over 400 locations around the country in the U.S. And we also source additionally an additional 600,000 products that we supply to the customers. For me, and I think that goes for almost everybody, the alignment between the business and IT is an ongoing process. And that process is not even an annual event for us. We are actually going in front of the senior management every month to talk about the projects and give them a status of the completions, the progress on different projects and the projects that are in the backlog, new projects that may have emerged, which gives the senior management the opportunity to shift the priorities for IT if they need to do so. So it cannot be even a once a year event. It is an ongoing process that we have to go through so that we stay closer to the business and we are delivering the capabilities that the business is looking for.
The company I work for is Verizon Communications as a whole, and I work for the business group called Verizon Business. It's a great question to ask. What do we have to learn from each other? What can we take from IT and bring to the business and vice versa? And I think you do get learnings in both directions. So let me talk first about what IT I think has learned from the business. Businesses in general run by the numbers. And so a focus on metrics is really something that I think we have inherited from the business into IT. And so we measure ourselves not so much by did we deliver the product on time and on budget, but rather did the system or capability that we delivered move the business metric the way we wanted it to. And measuring ourselves according to business metrics, I think, is number one, the right thing to do, and number two, something we learned from the business. In reverse, of course, we brought, I think, out to the business a way of looking at internal business processes, decomposing them as you would as a system engineer, looking at where the time sinks and the cost sinks are, and then doing real structured, what we call use case analysis around reinventing a new process and seeing whether or not you've fundamentally solved the system engineering problem. And so we look at business processes now, and our business partners are looking at business processes almost like system engineering problems. So I think those are ways in which we've learned from each other. The interesting thing to me is that it's very definitely a continuous learning process. And no matter how good you think you're getting at it, when you get to the next project or the next challenge, you realize there are ways you can do it better than you did the last time.